Okay. So today's topic of new discussion is on Unit 6, that is employee welfare and grievance and also discipline for the employees. So these are the major three topics of Unit 6. So we are going to start with the topic of employee welfare today. Welcome to this session on employee welfare. Myself, Professor Bharti Sunkar here from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology. So what is this employee welfare? Other than salary, whatever you give in return to your employees, you need to give something extra which actually makes the employees feel comfortable in the organization. So everything which you give them, all the facilities it may be, all the services it may be, those things which you give them to make your employees more comfortable in the organization, we call them as employee welfare facilities. So okay, so whatever extra facilities, as I said, which are given, these facilities can be mandated by law, or sometimes what happens is employer himself, that is the management themselves, will give some voluntary facilities to the employees. Mandated by law means there are government rules and regulations that certain welfare facilities have to be compulsory given to the employees of the organization. So that kind of facilities are mandated by law and they are prescribed by the government of India. So such laws, sometimes state governments also do it, some of them even central governments also prescribe. So such facilities should be compulsory given in organizations. But with this additional, if the employer voluntarily wants to give something to his employees to make them more happy, satisfied, and so that they can work better in the organization, in that circumstances he can always go ahead in doing that. Okay, so those are employee welfare facilities. So why actually we need these, why we need these labor welfare or employee welfare facilities? Because as I said, it will make the employees more happy and satisfied in the work life. Okay, so if they are happy, if they are satisfied, obviously they will there will be more interested to work better, to give better performance, to increase the productivity of the organization. So that is one reason. Second reason is it improves the physical and psychological health of the workers. If you are giving them a good working environment, let us say lighting is good, aeration is good, you are giving them air conditioning systems, right? So here what happens is they are working in a very good kind of a physical condition, means obviously their health of physical health of the workers also will improve. At the same time, you give them some counseling sessions, there is a supervisor who takes care of their problems or issues. So by doing so, their psychological health also improves. Their way of thinking, the stress levels of the employees have to be handled in the organizations nowadays, especially in modern organizations. They are doing a lot of happiness programs. Hope you remember we had also conducted a happiness program for the students, right? The such kind of programs are conducted in organization to improve or to ensure that psychological health is good of their employees. When physical and psychologically the employees are happy and they are healthy, then only you can expect better work from them. So that is one more objective for employee welfare. Today, you must have seen in televisions and all, some companies have even organized yoga sessions for their employees. In some companies, every day when they come to the organization, there will be a team assigned. Every day, one or the other team has to perform some dance or singing or some kind of an extracurricular activity. So this kind of activities basically keep their physical and psychological health very in a very good condition. It also absorbs the shocks injected by the industrialization and urbanization. So by giving such kind of facilities, sometimes what happens is uh, every now and then, due to some competition, due to some changes in the industries, right? Somewhere the employees may get affected. Something like suddenly in the last year, we could witness that automobile industry sales were coming down drastically. So due to this, what is happening? The companies are not able to give the salary of the employees, and sometimes they may start terminating them. It is making suspend them or terminate them from their services. By doing so, what happens is existing employees will look at this, that the employees are being thrown out, and they start getting tensed. They are in stressed situation. Okay, so due to this kind of a shock or a stress, people may not be able to concentrate on their job. So by giving some welfare facilities to the existing employees, you can handle their shocks, or you can handle their stress very nicely. It promotes the sense of belongingness among workers. If you just maintain a employee and a worker relationship, it is not going to help the organization today. Today, employees or workers will be looking for something extra from the organization. And when you expect them to work as a part of the family of that organization, then you should also treat them as a part of the family. So, by giving them facilities, let us say there is a facility given in manufacturing units for especially women employees who are having kids below 5 years or 8 years of age. So, it is a crash facility. Crash facility is something where there are dadis, that is nurses, who take care of babies and young kids of the labor class people who are or employees who are coming to the organization to work. So this crash facility, which is created for the women workers, no, it creates the sense of belongingness to them. They don't need to worry about their kids anymore, because any point of time they can go to crash, they can take care, they can look at their kids, how they are doing, right? And there is somebody, if somebody is not at home to take care of them, here at least in company, there is crash facility given, and somebody is there to look after their kids. So by giving such kind of facilities, a kind of a sense of belongingness, that the organization is mine, it takes care of us very nicely. So such feelings are created in the employees. Then it acts as a deterrent against social evils like drinking and gambling. Yes, there is something called as employee assistance programs. They are also known as EAPs. EAPs. Okay, so these are programs conducted by organizations nowadays, under which the workers are counseled for for living, drinking, and gambling and such kind of evil activities. Okay, so counseling sessions, activities are conducted for such kind of people who are involved into social evil activities, to ensure that they leave such kind of things and start concentrating upon the work. So even these employee assistance programs are a part of these employee welfare measures. Okay, so these are the main objectives of labor welfare. So which are the agencies which are working towards this employee welfare? Yes, the basically the management, that is the employers, the trade unions, and okay, and some agencies, okay, that is NGOs kind of organizations. So these are three categories of people who actually work towards the welfare of the employees. So as a part of an management, if you look into, they provide hospitals, they provide healthcare centers, they provide dispensaries to the workers in the premises of the workplace. Uh, Even family planning clinics are provided to them. There are credit societies, so that the employees can save their money or take small loans from them if needed. Gymnasiums, clubs, creches I was talking about, canteens, schools, as well as recreational centers. So these are some facilities given by employers for the welfare of their workers. So I'll tell you the example of our own Dharwad one company, Tata Motors. It has built hospitals and schools in and around the local villages there. By doing so, they are providing educational facilities for the kids of the workers who are coming to their organizations. So such kind of facilities can be created by the employers or the management themselves, so that the employee welfare is taken care of. Other than that, trade unions also do certain things. Of course, the company builds the schools, but running the schools will be sometimes the responsibility of the unions. Whether a teacher is being appointed, whether there are some administrative tasks to be taken up, whether they are being paid or not, whether students are taken or care or not, exams are conducted or not. So all these things are taken care by members of the trade unions. Trade unions sometimes even also maintain libraries, sports centers, cooperative societies, recreation centers. There are legal cells in the sense where sometimes, let us say, some employee is having problem in the organization. He cannot go to the management directly. He is afraid of it. Okay, so he can go to trade union legal cell and lodge a complaint. So the trade union will take that complaint to the management and try to resolve the issue on behalf of the employee. Then there are labor journals wherein articles, these write-ups are printed on those labor journals, and they are issued in the organization. Even sometimes some rules and regulations changes are also included in these labor journals. Even cultural centers, every year annual day celebrations, family day celebrations, such kind of things are conducted or organized by these trade unions. Other than that, there are also NGOs who work for the welfare facilities of the employees. So that is the third party. So if at all you have problem with the management or the trade union, where else you can go? You have to go to government, or else you have to go to NGOs, where they can help you to fight against the management for some compensation or anything. So now, so those are some agencies which are involved in giving welfare facilities to the employees. Now let us try to understand varieties of welfare facilities. What are these? So two categories basically you can find here: extramural and intramural. Okay, so there is a small spelling mistake here. It is extramural. Intramural means the facilities provided within the establishment, that is within the organization. Extramural means outside the organization. These are the facilities provided outside the organization. Okay, so what are examples of intramural? Drinking water facilities, toilets, creches, washing and bathing facilities. Let us say some employees are working in chemical factories. Every day after coming out of their workplace, they have to take bath, and then they have to wash their clothes or wash their hands and legs, and then only they can leave the premises. So their washing and bathing facilities, resting shelters like restrooms, especially in the afternoon after having food, they can take rest for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Uniforms and safety clothing, that is protective clothing. Some recreational facilities. I had given many a times example in the class of Google company. Google. Okay, so Google has restrooms wherein there are even beds arranged. Okay, so you can go there, you can sleep there, you can work on the bed itself, keeping your laptops. So such kind of recreation, and there are even gyms also. You can take 10-15 minutes break from your work and go to gym and work out there. So such are the facilities which are provided by a lot of organizations. Then full-fledged canteens with the subsidized food facilities are also provided, especially where the number of employees are more. What happens is, let us say if the employees are more and you don't give them food facilities, there will be a chances that many people don't eat their food also. I still remember when I visited Kaiga, a nuclear unit in Kaiga. It is a nuclear unit. There were more than around 10, around 10,000 employees working there. There was subsidized food a very healthy quality food, chapati, rice, sweet, then dal and everything. You just name it, it was there. Like the whole plate of one plate of food was costing you around 4 rupees. So that is what is a subsidized food. Actually, the cost of that per plate may be around 35 to 40 rupees. But the company used to bear it, and only at 4 rupees subsidized the rate, the food was provided to the employees there. So medical aid facilities, any point of time, especially in manufacturing units, accidents may happen. So you may need to immediately give the medical aid facilities for them. So these are all intramural facilities. Other than this, extramural, what are given? So most of these intramural facilities are coming under the government requirements. Okay, most of them. These are all prescribed by the government rules and regulations. Extramural are something extra for them, and which are given outside the organization. One is housing facilities. Next is education facilities for their kids as well as for the employees for higher education. Maternity benefits, initially it was 6 months, now it is, sorry, 3 months, now it is extended to 6 months. In our college also, maternity leaves were given for 3 months, now it is increased to 6 months. Then we have transportation facilities to travel from one place to another. Nowadays you can listen to a lot of uh, PPOs and KPO companies giving free transportation facilities to their employees to ensure that they come in time and to ensure their safety also while traveling. Then sports facilities, leave traveling facilities. Okay, there is something called as LTA, leave traveling allowance. When you are traveling on your leaves, you will be given some allowance. It may be on work basis or it may be on your personal basis also. Sometimes leave traveling allowance is given to you. Then vocational training is a kind of a training period given to especially new people, new joinees in the organization to adjust to the work system. Then holiday home facilities, especially top management people get these kind of facilities. They can get a stay of 3 days, 4 nights, or something like that in some resort or holiday homes package. Cooperative stores where you can get some materials, because from morning till evening everybody will be there in the company only, so it becomes very difficult for them to go to markets and get something. So they have cooperative stores and fair price shops where they can get the materials what they need for house at a very cheaper cost. At the same time, some social insurance also in the form of group life insurance, accidental insurance, or something like that. So these are some extramural welfare facilities provided by the organizations. There are certain measures taken by the employers in our country actually. So these are some measures which are given, especially in India. These are the most common in manufacturing units. So okay, so education, housing facilities, transportation, recreation, other facilities like canteens, restrooms, lunch rooms, washing facilities, medical aid, leave travel concessions, consumer cooperative societies, all these are very common facilities provided by the management or the employers in our own country here, right? So these are some statutory provisions created by government to ensure that the exploitation of the workers do not happen. See, what happens if these rules and regulations are not there? Okay, the management will start exploiting the workers or the employees. So for that reason, these statutory provisions, statutory means compulsory, compulsorily followed by the organization. These are government statutory provisions. Under Factories Act, there are a lot of rules and regulations told related to premises, that if there are more than 150 workers, you have to give them canteen facilities. If there are women employees, you have to give them fresh facilities. All such kind of rules and regulations come under Factories Act. You cannot uh, uh, have kids below the age group of 18 years to work in the factories. Such rules and regulations are governed under Factories Act. There is one more called as Plantation Labor Act, especially in coffee plantation and all near Coorg and all. What happens is the labor class is especially lot of is exploited heavily. So that is why this Plantation Labor Act came into picture. So if especially during the season or harvesting season, whenever the workers will be in the plantation area, it will be kilometers far away from the villages. So when they are staying in the plantation only, their food, their other expenditures have to be taken care by the owner of that plantation. Okay, so that is being prescribed by the Plantation Labor Act. So their food facilities, their basic needs, their shelter facilities where they have to sleep and stay, all that facilities have to be taken care by the owner of that plantation. Then we have Mines Act. Under mines, no, there are certain rules, uh, especially related to working hours. Employees are or workers are not allowed to work more than 4 hours or 6 hours in the mines. For the reason oxygen supply is very less and it may affect the health of the employees. So the Mines Act talks about that. Motor Transport Workers Act. Okay, so here traveling allowance has to be given to the drivers or the workers who are working in motor transport uh, companies. Okay, then Contract Labor Act to protect the contract labors, right? So with you cannot exploit them in terms of uh, the wages which are given every day for them. So under Contract Labor Act, there are certain rules given related to contract terms and conditions, and at the same time how much wages every day has to be paid to them. So those are the things which you have to keep in mind. Then for every organization, especially manufacturing units, there is always a person called as labor welfare officer. Normally the HR manager, if the organization is small, the HR manager himself will take up this role. Else if the organization is big, the HR manager, under HR manager, normally this labor welfare manager is appointed. So if these the duties and responsibilities of this welfare officer is he plays a role of a advisor. Okay, he should be very service oriented. He should ensure that the employees safety is taken care of, welfare is taken care of. He or she has a soft heart towards the employees. He or she should supervise whether all the facilities and welfare facilities are given to the employees and workers correctly or not. Functional in nature, that is, he should or she should compulsory fulfill their functions properly towards the employees, maybe by giving them facilities, by trying to address their issues, by understanding their problems, any grievances or any fights between people there. All these kind of issues have to be handled by them. They should also play a role of policing. Policing means keeping an eye on the employees, okay, or workers. So they should also do that. Then mediation. So as I told you, if two people are fighting in the organization or they are having some conflicts, the role of the employee welfare officer is to ensure that the conflict is not existing between the employees, they are resolved. Okay, so these are some employee welfare facilities being provided by the organizations to the workers. The reason, as I told you, you have to ensure that your employees have to be kept happy and satisfied. The more the employees are happy and satisfied, then you will be in a better condition to extract work from them. And they themselves will feel good about the organization and they start working in a much better, motivated manner. So, by doing so, productivity and performance of the company will increase. Okay, so that is all about employee welfare facilities. So I'll just